Welcome, Taurus. This is G. You're watching Allastrology, and we're going to talk about your January, where you had your birth of Venus. Yeah, it's Venus, Taurus. It's your ruler, Taurus. This is huge. It was right at the beginning of December. It's the rebirth of Venus in your 8th house. Venus being reborn in your 8th house. This is the placement of bonds. Bonded energy. So in other words, it's like, we think of what is bonded energy, okay? It can be people that you're related to by blood or money. How does that work? Well, you could have married into money. Right. Male and female, or male and male, female and female, they get married, or whoever gets married, and there's a bond that's created. And so if somebody were to with insurance money, like you're down as the what's that word? That word. When someone passes on, they're like, if something happens to me, this money. Anyway, I can't think of that word. Let me know what it is in the section below. I can't think of it, but you know what I'm talking about, right? So we get bonded by that way, right? We get bonded by that. And then also, when we think about family, people that we're related to, well, yeah, if your family, if your folks have property or just sick money, right? Or even if it's not sick money or property, it could be something as simple as these were the belongings of such and such. My astrology partner got a small box in the mail one time, and she was didn't there was no phone call ahead of it. There was no nothing, and basically the small box said this was such and such's belongings, and you're the last known living relative. And so whoever knew this person, when they passed, they were like, well, send it to that person. And so the box came, and it wasn't like anything super, super important. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a box filled with cash, it was more just things that personal belongings of the person that passed on. Right. So bonds, they were bonded because of blood. They were related. Yeah. So this is that house. Okay. So it kind of is a house that can be just about anybody, really, because there can be people in your life that you're not blood related to, maybe that you're not even married to, but that you leave something to, or that would leave something to you, or vice versa. You become close to people. It's energetic bonds. And so when we have those energetic bonds, and we think, gosh, if I value this thing, and if I'm no longer here, I want so and so to have this. Yeah, so it can really, truly, pretty much be anybody that you have this energetic soul history with, because that's what happens. We meet these people, and we either vibe, something occurs, right? And it's got nothing to do with what we did in this lifetime. There's that vibration, we get along, or we're bonded in some way, right? Because this might be a love-hate relationship with some folks, it can be complicated. But either way, it's a birth of Venus in your 8th house. So what does that mean? Because Venus has to do with what you value and who you value. So what that tells me is, all of a sudden, if Venus is there, and Venus is paying attention to those blood bonds, it's paying attention to those people that we value, paying attention to those people that we feel energetically close to. And it's just recognizing that relationship. It's recognizing and acknowledging that you have those bonds with those people. Now, does that mean you could be inheriting some money? It's possible, because it's Venus. And Venus is all about what I value, and it can be tangible, but it can be love. There may be somebody that all of a sudden you're recognizing, I haven't really stayed in contact with that person, but I might be rethinking it now, because Venus is there. And Venus is how I receive, and it is love, and it is relationships. So Taurus, you may be going back over in your mind and in your heart, and also in your soul. There may be something you're rehashing or rethinking about, but this can also be, and I say because that's like old school and going back in time and going off of the past, because it's in the 8th house. But let's not forget that Venus is a rebirth, meaning it's something new. So this could also very much be a new relationship, somebody new people that you're coming into contact with, people that you haven't met before. But rest assured, your souls you've got history. You've got soul history with these folks. Absolutely. Let's pull a card. So they're telling me to just split the deck for Taurus. I'm going to go ahead and split the deck for you. Yeah, and there's the card on top, and that's the card you're going to get. Here it is. Here's your card. Can you? Interesting. This can be very beneficial for you. This is about relating and talking. This can be business. This is neighbors. This can be people you live with, like siblings or coworkers, people you go to school with. See the energy down there? It's all about communication. Communication, it can be a little mischievous. It's lively, it's witty, informative, stimulating exchange is possible, like debating, right? But see, this is a card. If you look at the picture, it's like somebody's at a local market, like where they live. See how it looks like a bookstore, place where you can sit down, possibly a nice little cafe where there's you can do some reading and some coffee drinking, and you talk to people. You exchange ideas. You exchange information. It's really information. On a high level, this would be ideas. Ideas is very elevated energy. It's about things that may not necessarily exist yet in the possibilities. It's ideas, challenging ideas, debating ideas. But remember, coworkers, next door neighbors, people you work with, siblings, teacher. Are you the teacher or are you the student? This card holds that energy for both. Are you going to become the teacher? Maybe you're going to take some new classes. This card is helping you to pinpoint who that deeply bonded energy is. Now, Gemini energy typically is a masculine and a feminine energy. Typically, that's how it shows up. Gemini has been showing up with a much stronger female, or I should say feminine vibration as of late, just because, the world is changing and there's too much masculine. Too much masculine. There's just, yeah. So we're trying to get a balance is what we're doing right now. We're striving for balance. So Gemini energy, talking, communication, thinking. Remember, the merchant. Yeah. The jack of all trades, master of none, right? Multitasking, different avenues of income streams. So this would be someone who is fun and witty, someone who likes to talk and communicate, right? Someone who can be a good conversationalist. This could even be public speaking, somebody who is a public speaker, someone who's a teacher. Gemini energy. Taurus, beginning of January. You have it's what we call a full moon. And so it's a release, a closure, a completion sort of energy. And this is feminine energy. Yep. It's Cancer energy. It's the moon. So this would actually be a very big full moon. So for anybody who has prominent Cancer energy, this can be huge, can be a very big release, actually. Remember, check the details below if you're someone who knows about the degrees in your chart. And if you don't, what are you waiting for? Like, yeah, any information that I have of yours is always highly confidential. Like, yeah, that's my middle name. Just, yeah, trust me. And ask anybody on the channel. The only time people's stuff is made into a video is because that's what they wanted. Yeah. And it was with their permission. So discretion is my middle name. It absolutely is. So Taurus, for you, this release and this ending, it's interesting. So interesting because it's in your third house. Now, it's feelings because you have Cancer energy in your third house. This is a full moon in Cancer energy that's happening. This can be mom energy. So this can be mother wound energy. It's releasing something, right? And there's a little bit of history involved with this because it's Cancer and it involves the past. It involves something from a long time ago, okay? So it's people in Cancer energies, mom and females, right? Really interesting because we kind of just talked about a little bit of a new beginning in the same area. Remember that card said third house? And this is where this ending is happening. So again, it speaks to like a closure and an ending to make room for the new. I like that for you. I mean, it's balanced. It makes sense. Instead of being overwhelmed. I know I don't do good with an overwhelming of energy. I have so many planets in that 12th house. It doesn't take much for me to feel overwhelmed, honestly. I hate to say that because it makes me feel like I'm an absolute wuss. But 12th house is really high sensitivity. So if you have high sensitivities, it's not going to take much for you to be like, I feel like I'm drowning. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, this release and this ending can add a beautiful balance. All right. So third house can be neighbors, can be coworkers, can be siblings. It's crazy because it's like everything I just talked about. So definitely a feminine vibration because it's the sign of Cancer. For some of you, depending upon other things in your chart, this literally can be mother energy, releasing mom, right? Or releasing that mom wound, or releasing females in your life who kind of exude that nurturing feminine vibration. people who feel like family to you in some way. Okay. That's just Cancer energy in general. All right. So let's pull you a card to give you a nice visual for that completion. And just remember, it's like the chapter of, or I should say, it's the last chapter in the book. You're finishing it. You're done with it. Yeah. How great does it feel when you get to the last chapter? You're like, I finished it. Yay. So this could, because it's your third house, it could have to do with the way that you think about your family, the way you think about mom in the mother wound. So when I say the mother wound, what comes up in your mind? What feelings do you feel? Is there a fear involved? Is there a feeling of nurturing and warmth? Is there anger involved? Is there a sensitivity of hurt about something that happened? Like, this may be a release of the way you think about mom. This may be a release in your sensitivities because it's Cancer energy. Cancer energy, it's a lot like Piscean in that 12th house, very sensitive. So maybe you're releasing some of those sensitivities. Maybe you've grown a thicker skin, right? Maybe you can handle things you couldn't handle before. That's a possibility. Cancer, maybe you're releasing that a little bit of that shell. Maybe you're coming out of your shell. Yeah. Maybe you're learning how to come out of the shell for a certain amount of time. And then when you need the cover, you go back into the shell. And this would have to do with the way you speak, and not just the way you speak, but the sharing of your own thoughts, like being super sensitive, thinking you're not a very good speaker, thinking you're not a very good public speaker either, of course. But just speaking your thoughts in general, you probably are extremely sensitive, like you're hypersensitive to when you're talking. And you probably think everybody looks at you and thinks, oh, you're a retard. I shouldn't have used that word. But I'm speaking about like this because, well, this is me. I have Cancer in the third house. So, you might feel like people just are saying the most negative things that you don't fit in and you feel very awkward. Just remember, you're very sensitive to what others are thinking. Yeah, that's what makes this difficult. It is a difficult placement, especially with sibling energy. Yeah. All right, let's pull a card already. They're saying no more shuffling. Take the card on the top. So this is your release and your ending. Ready for this? Shazam. You get a Venus card. What the hell? This emphasizes feminine energy again. It doesn't have to be a female. Just remember that when we say feminine, just somebody or someone that exudes a strong warmth, beauty, peace, because these are all Venus keywords. See, Venus, the part of you that desires beauty. You want everyone to be beautiful. You want it to be beautiful. It should be beautiful. I know I'm really bad with this. I want everything around me. It should look just so, I know that probably doesn't make any sense. I look at myself and the way I dress and I'm like, this makes no sense at all. It's complicated. That's life. We're complicated beings. So success, indulgences, and valuables. Okay. This can be your finances, your money, and your income and the way you receive. That's adding my 2 cents to this card. These cards that are extremely reflective. Yeah. Venus, feminine energy. See the birth of Venus over there, right? The piece of artwork. Yep, the birth of Venus standing on the shell. I know you probably can't see that, but that's what this card is. Venus, and then the birth of Venus. No, this is for your ending. This is for your ending at the beginning of January. So, unfortunately, maybe there is some money that you're releasing and letting go. Maybe there's not money. Maybe it's a love, something you used to love or something you used to desire, right? Something about the family and the nurturing. Again, this is your third house, so it comes down to your thoughts, but it could be neighbors and siblings. It could be something here, a coworker or a next door neighbor in the community. Just something that you're completing. You're getting different coworkers, so you're releasing coworkers and friends. It could be that too. Yeah, it can be really complicated. Hopefully the Venus card, the part of the desire and the beauty and the success and the indulgences, hopefully it's just about that part where you're like, yeah, I'm so done with that, right? So it's the way you talk, you think, you relate, and communicate. Something there you're releasing. There is a new beginning, and it is happening for you, Taurus. Your new beginning happening in your 10th house of career. Yay! Are you happy about this, Taurus? You should be. You should be ecstatic. You should be like, it's about damn time. I've been waiting and working at this for many years. I've had Tauruses coming to me, and Tauruses have been flip-flopping all around between jobs, multiple jobs, leaving jobs, many gone on disability. You'd be shocked. Yeah, just and Tauruses were the workhorse of the workforce, the workhorse of the workforce. Those were Tauruses. They were the cow in the field plowing. They were doing the nitty gritty. The farmer doing the hard work. That's Taurus energy. Tons of them. We went on disability in 2020, end of 2018, going into 2019. It happened to so many that I know. It was like, what the hell's going on? Uranus and Taurus, that's what the hell was going on. So for Taurus to see this house of your goals, your professional goals and your ambitions and your work light up like this new moon, I'm really happy for you. So again, check the degrees, because this is in the sign of Aquarius, a new moon in Aquarius energy, okay, to make sure that this is happening in your 10th house. Because remember, these are just general readings. If you want to be more specific, you need to comment to me so I can tell you, yeah, this is where it is for you. And if it's not, I can at least give you direction or information that will help you understand how this works out for you in your life. But this is a new beginning in Aquarian energy in your 10th house of career, vocation, job. This is your long-term goals and ambitions, professional long-term goals and ambitions. When we say that, it's like when it's all said and done, the end of your lifetime, when you're no longer working or whatever, it's what you will be known for. It was your vocation in life, right? It was like, I would have done that whether they paid me or not, right? Some of you know what I'm talking about because some of you are in the midst of doing that right now. 1 degree in 33 minutes, I can tell you that much. So if you've got something near these degrees, right, you're going to know this is a big new beginning for you. So let's pull a card, see if we can get some more details. It could involve friends, digital, because it's Aquarius. It's group energy. I will say that Aquarius and in group energy is unions, organizations. Yeah, remember groups, clubs, organizations, and unions. Being the leader of a union. Because the 10th house is an area of your life where you are the authority figure. You feel like you're an authority when it comes to the workers' rights and what works for people and groups and what, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something big here about that with you. This time they're telling me to fan them out. If I can get my hair out of the way. We're going to fan these cards out for you. And they're telling me to go through them without looking at them. They're telling me to feel them. They want me to use, I'm waiting. Okay, I heard it right there. The card that was right there. Sometimes you just got to trust. So are you ready for this, Taurus? This is your new beginning. Hold a Leo card, Taurus. The energy is flamboyant, dramatic, proud, and passionate. It focuses on the importance of self-belief. The importance of self-belief. Leo is in charge. Leo is the king. See the crown? Confident. Very confident. When Leos stand, they're quite proud. He always had his chin raised up really high in the air above everybody. Very proud energy, right? So this is actually interesting because this is telling me you have the confidence for this new beginning. Leo is a big deal. Leo's ruler is the sun. This is a high vibration. It's literally about your spirit, your fire and the spirit. You know how I always talk about soul energy? Well, Leo is that sun energy. It's your spirit, It's like, it's a thing that runs through you that gives you life. This is the kingly energy. Remember the fun and the entertainment, having a good time. You've got the courage, Taurus, for this new beginning. Career, goals, ambition. It's time for you to be recognized and acknowledged and to take your seat at the top. Below the video, I'll have all the degrees for those of you who like to pay attention to the degrees in your chart. Again, if you don't know and you want to know, just comment below.